Hello and welcome to HyzerMedia's coverage of the 8th annual Thrive and Survive to benefit the St. Baldrick's Foundation. This is the Back11.
Coverage sponsorship is brought to you by Cosmic. D-Town Disc Golf. Use code HYZER23 for 10% off. And Reaper Disc Supply. My name is Adam Walsh.
And I'm Kyle Ebinger, and we'll be providing your coverage today. And as we go into the tail end of this tournament, we have Matt Parslow at 13 down, Wyatt Mahoney at 10 down, and Todd Springer at 10 down to bring out the top three. Hole 11's a par 3, 140 feet, and it is another tight one, really blocked off line. Matt taking the right-hand forehand here and just overcooking a little bit to roll, but it looks like he'll have a look at a putt from about 20 to 25 feet.
If anyone is joining us without seeing the front half of this coverage, I'd encourage you to go check that out. But we are playing an intentionally shortened layout. This is the Thrive format of the Thrive and Survive. Wyatt Mahoney taking a backhand Anheuser lefty. So far we've had two lines trying to get over there, and it looks like Spencer's going to give us a look at a natural backhand Hyzer. It's going to have to push forward, though.
And this is tough. He's going to have to keep it low and very, very Hyzer. Oh, and he's going to float it. And he's going to leave it short.
Yeah, very demanding tee shot here because it's pushed so far to the left. I think this Anheuser line is probably the best probability to get down there, but still a very touchy shot.
Definitely need something a little overstable so that it flattens out and rides, or you're just going to turn and burn very quickly.
Yeah, and Todd had that a little bit of mustard on that one. It looked like it was going to be going a little bit longer, but for the tree kick, let's see if Craig can find the Goldilocks throw here.
There's some friendly backstop on this one to keep you safe, and it looks like Craig found it. Let's see if he can cash this out for birdie.
Awkward putt here for Spencer.
And it'll be a long jump putt. Can he get his third of the day?
Not today, but it wasn't for lack of wanting it.
I think the problem is I called it, not you, Adam.
Let's see. Here's Todd from about circle's edge, maybe just outside. Little obstructed. It forced him up and over just enough to prevent him from getting back down into the chains.
Matt should have about a 15-foot birdie here, and he'll take it home.
Nice. That's nice. Great putting stroke from Matt Parslow.
Very cool to have him out. Hope to see him at more tournaments in the future. Spencer lining up his putt.
Makes good.
No doubt.
Good finish there from Todd, not leaving any extra strokes out there. And Wyatt gets in there for the birdie as well. So he's keeping pace with Matt. He got himself a stroke on Todd there. Again, this battle in the top three, staying nice and tight with a fair bit of golf left. But I think for Wyatt and Todd, they're going to want to try to close this gap sooner than later.
The hole 12 will be a par 3, 200 feet. We pinched this off to the right a little bit, so it's going to be another little bit of a flexi shot. Oh, I lied. We didn't go at that spot. We pinched it off to the left, and it's going to be a light hyzer to get there. And he'll take it. And as you're saying, Adam, it's close. It's 3 strokes, and it's really anyone's game with all these birdie runs. Just takes one guy figuring something out to get back in it. As Wyatt will take the Anheuser look and park it.
That was really, really nice. Very aggressive, very tight to the tree line the whole way.
I'll be honest, I'm biased towards this shot, but I do think the the lefty hand hyzer plays a little nicer than the righty backhand.
Well, the evidence so far supports your claim.
Let's see if Spencer can figure it out. And that he will not.
No, it looked like it had a good amount of hyzer out of the hand. He just needed to beat that tree, I think, and would have been up there pretty close. Let's see if he can just get it up and down or maybe toss one in.
And he'll just kind of take the layup here, give himself
he left a little meat on the bone. I hope he cleans that up.
I'm going to say he does, but we'll have to wait and see. Craig winds up, launches.
I mean, what are we saying? 80 feet there?
I couldn't do it. I don't know, man. It leaves me speechless every time.
Don't be mean.
Oh, boy.
Yeah.
He's going to want that one back.
And honestly, it's a stroke he's really taken on that upshot, which I know he would have liked to have put closer to the basket, so he didn't have such a thinker of a par putt, and that's how it goes.
And it's a tough balance. That upshot is a deceptive distance. Todd will squeak it through the trees. I bet you he had a nice little tunnel that just gave him a perfect aiming spot to put it through and put it in.
Yep, I'm sure. Todd, that's a clutch birdie for constructed enough to really have to make sure and be very committed to that putt. So it's really nice to see him get that one in.
And it'll keep him right in it with Wyatt and Matt.
Absolutely. Matt only has this for the birdie. He's looking good.
And he'll take it.
Yeah, he looks just as comfortable in a straddle putt as he does in a stagger stance. I haven't noticed if he's partial to one or the other just yet, but I feel as if every time he goes back and forth, he looks very, very comfortable.
Nice to be able to do both. And birdie for Wyatt with the drop in.
That's lovely.
And on to hole 13, a 152-foot par 3. We pinched this one off a little bit into the left. So you got a bit of a hyzer gap here. Let's see if they try and play the skip. This road is very unforgiving. It'll chew you up. It won't give you much movement. And
Case in point.
Case in point, indeed. But he seems to have had the distance, and he'll have an easy birdie putt there.
Yeah, I think insider knowledge is to try to get this one there in the air and not rely on the ground play.
And Wyatt will do just that.
Yeah, very well there.
Let's see if Todd is able to do the same.
Low attack, but he caught a slightly better result off the ground there.
He still managed to get some skip despite that ground being unforgiving, although I wouldn't be surprised if he's missing a chunk of disc when he gets up to it.
Slide. Oh.
Craig loves that forehand. It's a solid approach.
See if Spencer redemption off a hole 12 here. Wyatt.
Ooh.
Yeah, he's there. I'm sorry. I had a hard time seeing the basket, actually.
That really threw me for a loop watching it. But, yeah, he's probably about 10 feet, a little obstructed, but he'll have a look. Doesn't think he has it. Has it anyway. He can't miss if he tries.
I was going to say, when you're making your misses, you're having a good day.
Absolutely. And Craig will line this one up. There's no distance too long or too short for that that turbo putt.
That's also true.
I haven't noticed, but does he turbo his drop-ins?
Generally speaking, yes. That's a great
Well
finish
done,
there for Spencer, and a great bounce back off of hole 12.
Having made this hole a little more inconvenient didn't affect the result. Yeah, first start time.
Look at a lot of... Oh, thank you, Spencer, for pointing that out. We'll indeed have a star frame on this one. It only took 14 holes. And now on to hole 14, par 3, 237 feet. And the tricky one with this one is the basket's actually not there. It is further in the back. So you have a low ceiling up on the left here. And it is just tight, tight, tight to get all the way back there. Let's see if Matt can figure it out.
Yeah,
and there's that ceiling.
Yeah. This is among the more difficult shots in disc golf, right? Low and straight, and there's just not much room in either direction.
Locally known as one of the more difficult, or possibly the most difficult, non-blue tee we have on this course. At least
I gotta believe that was a misfire from Wyatt. I don't think he was trying to force anything down that left side rough like that. So unfortunate time for a misrelease. Hopefully he can clean it up from wherever he is.
Todd gonna go a little high.
We've already seen there's just not much room up there. And I think this is a nice play to get down the fairway. Excuse me.
I can't tell if that was on purpose.
Well, it was certainly an intentional roller. To throw it directly into the rough, I'm going to give him the benefit of the doubt and assume that was not intentional.
It's a hell of a shot.
It looked like a pretty strong right to left wind offered that roller really no chance of moving in the direction he needed it to.
And all 5 MPO players seem to have just gotten chewed up by this shot, which is a real testament to just how difficult it is.
Wow. Everyone should go back and check the footwork on that throw. That was absolutely amazing to get his hips turned like that. That was
beautiful
a
spin.
Really, really highly technical throw, and he just nailed it. Matt gets hung up there. We might be looking at a blemish, but he'll have a chance to try to clean it up.
And this goes back to my point of it's really anybody's game with these shots. And Spencer's going to lay up a nice shot there.
Wow.
I'm glad Wyatt was able to work out of that spot there.
And he'll still have a tree in front of his putt, but I'm sure he'll manage to work around that.
Oh, it's out.
And Craig also not too badly punished. Was able to get it up and over for par. So here's Matt to save par. It's just not to be.
And we're going to go from a star frame to nobody claiming a birdie, and in fact a bogey on top of it. And as you can see, that tree is really throwing him off. And he's no big deal. Step it and throw it. This was such a debated move to push this basket back, and I think it's been a welcome change.
Yeah, it definitely fits the hole, and even in this super shortened position, that tunnel to get through is a challenge, and it proved to be a serious challenge for this. Oh, thank goodness that stuck. So Matt giving one back to the course here after what was has been a very impressive day of disc golf out here. Hopefully he can get the train back on the tracks here.
And we're on to hole 15, 215 feet, par 3. We're going to be starting on the right side of this hole, and it's just going to be a really hard right turn through that gap to the basket. We're going to see some fun skip shots, I'm sure. And that's going to get some nice bounce. Let's see if we can get a shot of the basket here.
Yeah, I was going to say, I don't think he traveled back to the right as much as he was hoping for. I think the wind might have been preventing that. Todd going to be looking at a very steep Hyzer forehand here.
And
I like this better.
Ooh, hang it high and see what you can get skip-wise.
But still, you know what? I think this may have just been a case of the impossible wind, because I really thought he was going to get some more carry back to the right there.
Yeah, this is a very difficult shot between the distance and that right angle, because it's so short you don't have the opportunity to and Craig breaking out the cut roller.
Yeah, it was intentional, and it had merit. It could have worked.
If you're going to put this under the basket, I think that's the only way to really do it. It's just the risk reward is pretty wide, and Spencer getting caught up with that ceiling.
And let's see,
Matt taking the short skip and leaving it short, but
it's my favorite of the bunch. It's my favorite of the bunch. I'm a little worried about the ceiling he's going to have to contend with on that putt, but he clearly got it the closest to the basket. Oh, Spencer doing a great job.
He has been fearless on those upshots today.
Oh, no.
Craig said it best himself.
Maybe we should let him do commentary.
Good run.
Yeah, I think Todd's going to want that one back. Let's see if Wyatt can use that wind read and keep it up a little bit higher.
But you know what? He's going to keep his par, and he's not in the woods. And Wyatt's just going to lay this up because he knows you can get yourself in trouble real quick on that.
That is true.
But that's tough when you're 2 shots behind it. You kind of need that birdie.
Especially with Matt looking at a chance here. Oh, not quite.
Solid run, but again, a little ceiling, a little wind. Matt, unfazed, takes the par. Spencer grabs the par. Craig going to deal with some swirling wind here.
Oh, gosh.
Oh, boy. Maybe come back.
Yeah, he's going to have a chance from about the same distance.
No.
Real shame.
That's tough. I'm not blaming that one on the turbo. We'll take the win for that one.
Absolutely.
Wyatt will take his par. Todd will take his par. And we're off to hole 16, where everyone will walk all the way across the field just to come right back. It's a 165-foot par 3. You got a little bit of luck from the right side if you really want to try and squeak it, but I get a feeling that these guys are going to try and go left, especially Wyatt here with a big spike hyzer. Try to get around this tree. And again, distance is going to be major key here.
Absolutely.
And he'll find himself 15 out. Nicely done.
Yeah, I think Wyatt did well with that. Todd should be following a pretty close trajectory here. A little lower with a bigger skip, and
well
almost
done.
kissed the basket. That was beautiful.
And this is a tee position that you would not see in anything but a specifically designed round. You would not see this on a typical, permanent layout, as we put it back by 17's tee pad.
Yeah, but the shot gave enough where Spencer tried out that right-hand side. I'm not sure what Matt sees here.
He's going to try that right gap, and
oh, well, he did it. That's
Well,
not trying. That wasn't trying. That was doing.
we challenged him to take that shot, and he succeeded.
And then not to be outdone,
Wow.
Craig forces the Anheuser flex down the right-hand side.
There's nothing conventional about the way he plays, Adam.
No. It's a beautiful game. Great putt there.
And that's one.
Wyatt from about 24 and a half. Great
An
putt.
Absolute bullet. That is. That is just fearless, that kind of speed.
Yep, and I got a good feeling about the rest of our contestants here.
Ooh, Craig's going to have a tough one, though. Speaking too soon.
I am guilty as charged. There we go, Todd.
And 4 out of 5 birdies on that. And once again, back to the drawing board for next year. We're on to hole 17. It's a 203-foot par 3. We got a little open field into the woods. Got a road behind. Nothing too threatening, but just getting through that initial gap is really the hardest part.
And the point you've been making again is, distance control, because you can blast something through here and leave yourself way outside of putting lanes. That right there is just about as nicely as you can do it.
How's a righty approaching this one, Matt? Or Adam?
I like the backhand slow putter turnover right up the gap. I think it makes the gap bigger. If I had a forehand as good as Todd's, I might like that. I might like that as well. But I think Spencer should show you some version of what I liked when it was my turn to throw it. Just kind of set it up in the air and get it drifting back to the right. That one's going to hyzer out, I think. We'll never know.
Well, there's that ceiling that so often plagues us on this course.
Now let's see with Matt here.
There's that bowler's kick.
Yeah, and a pretty good result there.
That's
pretty
solid.
Good result. It's through the main gap. It's a putt.
Birdieable.
Let's see if Craig can put it a little closer.
That's looking pretty solid. And once again, the trees will get him.
The trees did get him, but is that him up right in front?
I believe it is.
Yeah.
So he's about 35 out.
Yeah. Spencer from deep in circle 2. Oh, good looking putt.
He should just always put himself in circle 2.
Oh. Most of the way there for Craig for the birdie look. See if Matt can pop this one in from the edge of the circle. That's a fine 2.
Making it look easy.
And protecting his lead. These are the putts you got to make coming down the stretch if you want to take the win. Because Wyatt and Todd are just too capable. They're not going to allow you to make a lot of mistakes in front of them and not close the gap.
Yeah, and the two of them, as we know, I mean, no.
Gosh, I feel like a fortune teller now. I mentioned that the center pole is very reachable on these baskets, and it's got to be respected.
Wyatt's just too accurate.
Yeah, no, I mean that's the only thing that caused that putt to spit back. It was too good.
All right, on to hole 18, 198 feet, another par 3, as they all are. And this is a fun little gap. I would say it's probably aceable, but it's going to take a little magic to get there. I think we're going to see a lot of hyzer skips out of the righties here.
Yeah, and that's a fun line too, because it plays you right back through these 2 guardian trees up by the basket. Matt just not quite with the distance control on that. Oh, I'm sorry, that was Todd. Here comes Matt.
Black jackets at him.
I know. Whoops. Oh, that looked great.
Well,
You could
Todd
see
just
Matt.
adjusted on his second shot then, I guess.
That's it. Yeah. You could see Matt just adding the extra hyzer out of the hand to make sure it got over there. Wyatt drifting this one over. Looks really good, and it is.
Well, I did say they don't go left, but apparently I was proven wrong on that one.
Yeah, that one moved left.
That was beautiful.
Oh, Spencer with I'm going to call that an honest to goodness ace run. Yeah, that was chain high coming past the basket. I got a feeling he thought it might be able to get in there.
And Craig is going to throw the flex shot here. He does not like that one.
No, he caught a sniper branch about halfway there.
Well, it looks like he just overturned it a little bit. I'm sure his hands are cold. They all got to be freezing out there. It was about 30 degrees that day. And
yeah. That's a great job from Craig to get out of trouble and get back to the basket, though. Here's Todd coming from probably a little outside the circle, log of the basket.
Well, and Craig having that turbo putt makes it a little easier to get over those bushes, which is nice.
It is.
Matt will take his birdie.
Another nice clean putt.
That'll extend his lead past Todd at least. Spencer with a nice bird as well. Wyatt keeping up with Matt.
Man, I know it's just the angle we had right there, but it sure did feel like he was intentional and correct to put a little angle on that putt and use a little bit of what were his left side chains. I don't know. I could be reading too far into that, but it looked like I'm going to call that an adjustment.
And not a bad adjustment to make. On to hole 19, par 3, 221 feet. We're kind of hidden in the woods here. We're actually pushed just in front of the red tee, and really just so that these guys don't have to run up on roots. And Matt's going to take the big outside hyzer. Let's see how that pays off for him. Matt's
I like it as a way to get
here.
I like it as a way to get down there. He doesn't really need the birdie, but I think if you're trying to put this one under the basket, this central gap we got Wyatt looking at is the way to get there.
And not an easy shot, but
not
definitely doable. And he's going to throw a little flippy backhand, and look at this.
That's great. Yeah, that must have been very flippy because that was hyzer out of the hand, and he had it on turn very quickly.
Yeah, I think I threw a hex on this shot and kind of just a little bit of Anheuser and cruised it right to the basket. But there was a lot of flip on his. Spencer getting caught up in the tree.
Todd weighing out the pros and cons of the inside versus the outside. I think he's looking inside now.
He's got to take the gut.
Yeah.
And he certainly will. And it misses everything. Oh, well done, Todd.
Perfect.
And what kind of tomfoolery will Craig get up to on this shot? I'm seeing forehand roller here.
I think we got a forehand roller coming up.
Well, it was an attempt.
Yep, it was an attempt. Let's see if he can skip one in here.
Little justice action.
No skip. No piece.
Ooh, come on. Little flare. And the tree catches him.
Craig from way downtown.
Ooh.
Good height on that. Matt with the stepper. I think he'll take his par with a smile.
Sure. And that's going to give Wyatt a little bit of an open door here with 2 to go.
Spencer, unfortunately, buzzing the tower with that par putt there.
He's kept fighting though through this round, despite at one point being over par.
You're absolutely right, and it's interesting that score-wise, he's got him and Craig neck and neck. You've got a playing partner, and it's amazing on this hole they both just found themselves equally on the struggle bus. So neither one really able to make up much ground on the other.
And speaking of making up ground, Wyatt will take a stroke and gain a little bit closer to Matt there.
Yeah, I mean it's 2 strokes with 2 to play. I don't know, man.
I don't know. Hey, look,
but
the next 2 are they're fun. They're fun ones. And look, I mean, hey, Todd could always drop one in as we move to hole 20, 200 feet.
Absolutely.
The only OB on this course is the road and outside, and we're going into the Long Island Disc Golf Lighthouse hole. So this is tough. I think we're going to probably see a lot of hyzers from these guys, but there is also the left gap, which it looks like Wyatt's going to take, and he's going to get chewed up by that tree. And that's the gamble you take with what you think might be the safer shot.
I still like the strategy, and it looks like Todd's lining up a similar line.
You know what? You don't flirt with the out of bounds, and with this wind, that OB probably comes into play a little bit more. And boy, am I sorely mistaken. Everybody's taking the inside gap.
Yep, Matt puts it well inside the circle. Now, Spencer tends to favor. He's going to favor the backhand, so he's going to let this one fly. But he still chooses that inside route.
Well, and Adam, you played the tournament. You can speak to, I'm pretty sure, that stake right in front of your face absolutely comes into play. It must be intimidating.
It is right
there.
It's there. Again, like most obstacles, it's harder to hit it than to miss it, but that doesn't mean you're not going to hit it.
Somebody will sit there and say, "Hold my beer." And the slightly raised basket here, it makes for a tricky putt, but you have the backstop if you want to just lay it up, of which I'm sure nobody will do.
Wyatt and Spencer just not quite able to find the chains there, but able to land it close.
And making minis on the backside.
Yep, Craig's joining. We got a couple of birdie chances here. I'd say that's going to give Matt a real comfortable.
Don't count your chickens till they hatch, Adam. As we'll see on the next hole, there's certainly possibilities for strokes.
And Todd's tall enough not to be bothered by the elevated basket.
Spencer seems to be.
Spencer would like that one back.
All right, Wyatt, what do you got?
He's got a par.
And we got a tie here with Wyatt and Todd going into the last hole. So, these guys are playing for cash. You can't forget that. And, that difference between second and third can mean a couple bucks.
Absolutely. And, both being Connecticut guys, they've finished rounds together before, I'm sure of it. And we'll probably have a lot more ahead of them in their future. What a beautiful hole you got here, Kyle.
Hole 21, par 3, 200 feet. Double mandatory between these two trees into a hanging marksman basket. So, my goodness, was this intimidating. And it's funny, I sat and watched a lot of people throw it. and as Matt will just lay it up.
That is a gosh. I hadn't seen that before. I hadn't considered that play. I'm processing my first reaction to that strategy right there. Obviously, avoiding penalty strokes of a missed Mando, which with the new rule change can make that very easy to come into play. Let's see. Craig giving us a show. Craig giving us a show. He's giving us what we want. Let's see if Spencer can get there with the backhand.
And I got to tell you, Adam, I think I saw more MA3 guys make this Mando than I did MA1.
Interesting.
So, yeah.
Interesting. All right. So Matt left with this. Another jump putt.
Just to lay it under the basket. And that is not an easy putt to come in.
I was going to say, I'd have to think that the way he drew it up, he was hoping that par putt was going to be a little closer.
I wouldn't be surprised to see him just lay this under the basket, take his bogey, and walk away with the win.
And credit to Craig for running that putt. Elevated marksman basket, outside the circle, windy day.
Ooh.
Wyatt, again, great effort there. Not the worst result, but Todd's hanging close.
And as we said, that's the difference maker in cash right there.
That's it.
It's a nice birdie. I'm sure one of very few on the day on this hole.
I'm sure of it. Wyatt's able to clean up his par. Let's see, I think, oops. Spencer's in and out. He's good to go. Craig will finish his run.
And let's see how Matt decides to approach this.
And Mr. Matt Parslow coming in with the win.
Congratulations, Matt, and to all our players. Thank you for everyone that joined us today. This, again, was a charity event. Long Island Disc Golf managed to raise over $18,000 for the St. Baldrick's Foundation. So we thank everyone that donated, be it prizes or money, and helped to make this event what it was. So,
absolutely, and credit to Kyle for putting together a really good event this year. Heard nothing but positive feedback. I enjoyed it very much myself, and it was a pleasure coming on here tonight to do commentary with you, bud.
Thanks, Adam. It was a pleasure to do this with you too, and thank you to HyzerMedia for coming out, filming around. We hope to have you back again next year.